Okay, check it out. We'll be making this wedding site today. It has this fixed image with a nice header at the top. It's a one-page wedding information site where you get your locations, embedded map, a little about the story. You got the social icons if you want to connect your profiles to that. We have another one here with a quote. You can use these image boxes if you want to put more information about the various things you can do, and a working contact form where your guests can ask a question and you will get email in your own email box. And this image gallery where you can change the background, you can change the number of columns, click an image, light box comes up, so you can use this, or just you can even put this image gallery somewhere in the middle of the page. I think might be a better spot for it. Maybe here would be a nice spot. So if you are interested, let's get started. Okay, before we create a website, we need to set up hosting. A host is a company that stores your website on their server. The first section of this video will show you how to set up hosting, and it's a pretty painless process these days. The easiest way to get started is to click the first link in the video description. This is a video that I've already finished, so I'm leaving it as an example. The link is right here to SiteGround. The second way to do it is go to my website, stepbystepwp.com. This is where I post my full tutorial videos. And if you go to the bottom of the front page, you'll see there's this purple section here about SiteGround. You can Google SiteGround reviews and see what they're all about, but I've posted some information here about research that they've done if you're curious. They're some of the fastest, they have some of the best customer service, so you can click these if you're interested in more information. The other thing that's nice is that it gives you free SSL and you don't have to set it up. So you get this lock here automatically on your site, and you can just get going right away with the tutorial. You don't have to spend extra time setting it up, and unlike other bargain basement hosts, you don't have to pay for it, because if you do a really inexpensive one, they'll charge you for SSL, and then this case you don't have to worry about it. It's just ready to go. So we'll click the link here, and then that'll take us to SiteGround. Okay, this is the SiteGround website. Scroll down a little bit, go to web hosting. When you click that, you get some options. We'll click the cheapest option. If you need to upgrade from here, you can always upgrade, so just do the cheapest one. I'll select a new domain because I'm going to create a brand new website. It's $15 or $16 a year for the domain. When you type that in here, it'll search for it to see if it's available. And it's available. So now I need to create an account. The email and password will be your account to make with SiteGround. It won't be your login for your website, it'll be your login for SiteGround, where you do billing and stuff like that. Okay, I filled out the form, and now I scrolled a little bit further down. You'll see I don't change any of these options, the purchase information here. And then when you go further down, I did uncheck one of the options called the site scanner. I removed the site scanner from the options. It's $20 a year. I personally don't use that. So I left domain privacy and registration on, and that brings me to a total of about $6 a month, about $75 for the whole year. So I'll confirm this stuff down here, and then I'll click Pay Now. And now it's going to create an account, and now it's going to send you to the where we can install WordPress. So we'll proceed to the customer area, and I'll select Start a New Website, and I'll select WordPress. And now this is where you enter in your login information for your website. So make sure you save this login information because you'll need it to log into your WordPress site. The other login is for SiteGround, and that's where you get billing and stuff. This one is going to be for your website. So save both of those logins and then click Confirm. And now we have, oh, it just asks if you want to add the scanner. I just don't bother with that. And now we're ready to set it up. Okay, great. So your hosting account's ready to use. Go to the customer area. Okay, inside the SiteGround customer area, if you click My Accounts, the tab at the top, you'll see the domain that you installed WordPress on is located right here in front. To get to your domain, we're just going to click this link and that'll take us to our site. In the future, you'll be able to enter it into the address bar, but sometimes it takes 24 hours to propagate to the servers. So for now, just click the link under My Accounts, and then it'll take us to our website. And here's the default installation for WordPress. You see you have this large header with this static image, and we have a post that was given to us from SiteGround. We're going to be removing that default post, and we're going to be changing all of the theme and from the default theme and putting in the starter site shortly. So it's good to know that the installation worked. Now we're going to log into our site by typing /wp-login.php. That takes you to the login for your site. Go ahead and enter your email or username and then your password that you created when you installed WordPress and log in. And now we're at the WordPress dashboard. This is the back end of your website. This is where we can change settings. You can explore all of these. For now, let's just go to posts. Here's that post that was sitting on our website. So I'm going to go ahead, click trash to throw that post in the trash. And now when you visit your site by clicking visit site at the top, you'll see there are no posts found because we removed that one default post. And now we have a good starting point to go ahead and install the starter sites and to really get going with our website. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we are going to install the correct theme. So go to Appearance Themes. You'll see this is the one we're running now. We're going to click Add New. Type Astra. Install. Activate. And you'll see right away when you click Visit Site, your site already looks totally different. It's kind of like a blank slate, and we'll get the starter site and it'll look even more amazing in a minute. So we'll go back to Dashboard, go to Plugins. I'm going to remove these plugins. Jetpack, deactivate and delete. You can do research on all of that stuff if you want to use those. There are free plugins available that you can use. There are essential extras on my site that show you how to get the security plugin and stuff like that. So I leave this one on here just in case you want to optimize your site further for speed and whatnot. So I'll just leave that there. Now I'm going to add new. Okay, the first plugin we're going to search for in the search bar is Elementor. Click install now. Activate. Okay, that's the page builder. Click new. Next one, we're going to install Contact Form 7. It's this one here. It has over 1 million active installations. It's well trusted and widely used. Activate. Add new. Astra Starter. This one here, Astra Starter Sites. Activate. And if you want an under construction page while you're working on it, you can install under construction here and activate. This under construction page, to turn it on so that your visitors get an under construction sign, you just flip this to on. And I'll show you real quick what that does. I'm going to open an incognito window here, and then I'm going to type the domain. So you'll see you get this instead of the sort of blog that's being worked on, or the site that's being worked on. So to get to your login, if you turn on your under construction, see this tab down here in the bottom right, you click that and it takes you to wp-login.php. This is where you enter your normal login credentials. You don't have to, you can just manually go to this place here anytime you need to log in, but I figured I would show you that just so you know, if you get confused and you don't know how to log in, you go there. You just have to remember to turn this baby back off once you're done. Okay, so these are the plugins that we're going to use. Now we're going to install the starter site. So let's go to Appearance, Astra Sites, select Elementor. I'm going to select Free, and I'm going to go down to the wedding starter site right here, Mark and Sally. You can preview it by clicking it. You'll see it requires Contact Form 7 and Elementor, which we already have. So this is a one-page site. There's no header. It's more simple for visitors to get all their information on one page, and it's pretty stylish. We can change the fonts and all of that, but I wanted to let you know that this is a single-page app, so you're not going to be required to make a bunch of pages. You'll just change all of the information on one page, and so it's a pretty nice template to use for a wedding. So let's import this site. It says please do it on a fresh installation of WordPress. Okay. Go back to my dashboard. Now when you look at visit site, this is now, see it says right here under construction mode, has you whitelisted, so you can still see everything that you're doing but your visitors can't. We'll close that. And so now we have a nice template to get started for a nice wedding site. So now we can get started making adjustments to this. Okay, before we get going editing this page, let's go back to the dashboard, and I want to show you a few things about your site. If you go to Pages, you'll see there's one page, and this is the page that we were looking at, the page of your site. If you want to edit it, you would do Edit with Elementor, and we'll be doing that in a second. If you go to Media, you'll see you have all of the stock photos that are present in your site. So this is where you would drag and drop photos into your media. If you have a photo on your desktop, you can't see my desktop, but I'm going to drag it right over the top, and then you just drop it in there, and that's how you would upload your own media into the placeholders that are currently there. Alright, next I want you to go to Appearance, Customize, or at least follow along to see where I'm going with this. We are going to rename this from my blog. Go to Layout, Header, Site Identity, and this is where you can rename your blog. Instead of my blog, you can call it, John and Julie's wedding site, or whatever you want. Click Publish, and then if you go back, see, this is where a lot of the settings live that are outside of the page, like some of the settings that we're going to mess with here. For one, if you want to change the font and you don't want to do it manually for every single header, you can go here, Typography, Base Typography, and Elementor pulls the fonts from this setting here to make all of these pages, or all of these sections. These are the headers here, and then this is the body here, the body font. So what I'll do is I'm going to change the header font here, down here under headings. Right now it's set to Alice, and if I go with another one that is kind of cursive, you'll see you get this nice cursive one. I'll just stick with Alex Brush. But if you want other font ideas and you don't want to have to select every single one, I just typed cursive Google fonts into Google, and then I looked at this one right here, 53 cursive Google web fonts, and this can give you ideas if you want a different cursive font, or kind of a nice formal looking thing. You can remember the name of this and search for it under here, and hopefully they have it, and if not, you'll have to pick another one. So I selected Alex Brush, I clicked Publish, and it changed all of them except for this one, which was manually set within Elementor. So we'll do that, and I'm going to change this to just capitalized on the one letter instead of all of them, because that looks a little goofy. But I'm satisfied with Alex Brush for this demo. And so now we can get to the business of editing our page. So let's go to Pages and Edit with Elementor. Now the first thing I'm going to do is click this element here, click Style, Typography, and here we have Alex Brush as well. And then here, Save the Date is capitalized on all of them. So if I click the element, click Style, Typography, here they transformed it to uppercase. So just do default. Alright, so now we have the fonts that we want, and now we're going to have to go ahead and adjust some of this other stuff. Okay, so one thing you might notice about this page is that it's made of sections. Anytime you see a blue tab, see the blue tab and then the blue box containing it, that's a section. And a lot of sections have these background photos. So that's one way that you can decorate a section. And then here's another blue section. You right click that, edit section, and you get the settings for that section. If you want to move a section, we're going to go down to the address section, and I'm just going to click and hold down, a regular click, hold down, and I'm just going to start dragging it up the page, because I think that the map and the locations and dates and stuff might be more important. So here I am still moving the section up. I'm going to put it right below the introduction right there. And so it's really easy to move the sections along. Another thing that I'm probably going to do is I'm going to remove this photo, and I'm just going to have an hour story instead of each one. So we'll do that. And anytime you want to edit some text or whatever, you just click the element and then you edit the text over here on the side. So in the beginning, if you're not comfortable making a lot of new sections or making a lot of changes, you can actually just use this template and just fill it in, and you'll be, your site will perform well and it'll look very nice. So now I'm going to show you how to get your photos ready to go. So here we have a section. If you right click, edit section, and then style, you'll see in the background we have this photo. So hopefully you have your own photo that you want to use. So I'll click delete and update. Don't forget to update often. Oh, and if you screw up, don't forget about this history icon here at the bottom. You can go back to when I remove that or when I move something. So you can go back to different points in the history. So anytime you need a new element, you just click this grid up here at the top, and you can drag the heading onto the section, and here you get your new heading where you add your text. I'm going to right click, delete. So you can move an element by just dragging that pencil. You can move it down here, move it back up. So now I'm going to get a photo. Since I don't have wedding photos, I'm going to go to a royalty-free site that has free wedding photos. Oh well, they have free photos. I just type wedding in. And so this first one that comes up, I'm going to click that, download for free, and now it's downloaded into my downloads. So now I'm going to go to my download section here, and you'll see right here. So I'm going to rename that wedding background or header background, whatever. So now I need to exit. I'm going to go back to Elementor, save my last change, go back, exit to dashboard. This is where you exit. You click the three lines up here, exit to dashboard, and now I'm going to go to media, and now I'm just going to drag that wedding photo onto the media, and here we have it here. So now we can go back to the page, edit with Elementor, and now right click, edit section. Here we have background image. Click that, insert, and it's coming in pretty good. So here's the positioning, top center. I probably want it like center. Didn't change it much. But you do want to pay attention to this setting here, which is cover. So that will mean that your image is going to cover the space. I'm going to update that. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll crop it a little bit. So if you want to see how we do that, I just deleted it again. I'm going to go back to the dashboard, go to the media, click on the photo, edit image, and here I'm just going to select the area that I want. Okay, click the crop button, click the save button, and now you'll notice the dimensions are a little bit different. So I'm going to scale this to just a regular large image, edit image, and I'm going to scale it to about 1500 wide and click scale. So now I've adjusted the original image to a different size. So now I'm going to go to the page, edit with Elementor, and now I'm going to edit section, style, image, select the one, insert, and just to make sure that looks like it used the cropped version, which is what I was hoping for, and it's looking a little bit better. If you see this dark overlay to make this text pop out, you can adjust that dark overlay here. See the background? Click that, collapse that menu. Here we have background overlay, and here's the color and the opacity. So if you adjust, the color and the opacity to where if you want to do like a color in itself, you can do that. Pick any of these. But if you just want a grayer one or a lighter one, you adjust that here, and then you click the picker to get it to go away and adjust the opacity here. It actually doesn't look too bad with just regular. So I just darkened it a little bit. Alright, so I click update. Now I have a nice welcoming image to start with. I have the when and where. When you click this, you can adjust the address here. You can adjust the amount of zoom and all of that. And here you can click the different image boxes here to adjust any of the time and location. And here's the other one where you can put in, you would just enter in your address and just leave these tags here. So now we're coming along. Instead of, like I was saying, instead of both of these, I'm just going to choose one, and I'm going to just start the writing here. So what I'll do is I need one more photo. So I'll click the widget, delete that. Now I'm going to go back to the wedding pictures, see if I can see, you can use like placeholder images, like just wedding themed images that have nothing to do with your actual wedding. But here's one with 2 people in it. I download that. I go to my, now I'll call that Our Story. Okay. Now I need to go back to Elementor, save my last change, click the 3 lines, exit to dashboard, go to media. Let me get my downloads folder back up, drag it on here. Okay, good. Okay, you can see here it's 6 megabytes and it's a large photo, so you don't want to use that one. When we go to the pages, I'll show you which one to select. So we go pages, edit with Elementor, the home page. And here we have the image widget. That is just simply clicking this grid up here and dragging image onto the grid like so. I could use this one or that one, delete that. So here I'll click it, choose an image, choose the one you want, insert, and see right here, this is where you select which size you want. So you would probably be fine selecting medium or the large, one of these two. If you use full, it'll be that large 6 megabyte image, and you don't want to use that, so use one of these three. I'll just use the large. And now I will duplicate this, our story. Well, why don't I just keep the our story, and you know, you can subtitle it however you want, and then you put your information here. Here's another widget with social icons, so if you want them to be able to get a hold of you, you can use these, or if you don't want to use them, just right click and delete. But if I do want to use them, I will drag that up there, and I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to put a little header, right click, duplicate, and drag that story here. And instead of that, I'm going, what are their names? Oh, I think it was like John and Julie or something. So I was just going to label this John, and then duplicate that, put it right here, Julie, and then you can fill out these or remove if you don't want, if you don't want Google Plus in there, you just hit the X. And all right, so now we're moving along with the story and the social icons. If you want to align right, you just click the widget, click alignment. Alright, so we have the first 3 sections done, and I'm going to take a quick break here and keep on going. So I'll click update. Okay, I'm going to continue editing this page. Here's this section that I'm not going to be using, so I'm going to go ahead and just click the X. That'll remove that section. Here we have a stock photo. If I right click, edit section, style, here we have the photo. So let's delete that. I'll go back to my wedding pictures. I'll hit this one looks good. Download. Okay. Now I'm going to label it. Now I'm going to leave this site, go back to Elementor. Okay, update my last change, leave, go to media, exit dashboard, media, drag that puppy on there. Okay, once again 3 megabytes, large dimensions, but you can use just the large one. So we'll go back to pages, edit with Elementor, go down, right click, edit section, style, image, love, insert media. Very nice. So you can always darken this up by collapsing the background or changing the color. So there's a lot you could do here. So I just figured I'd just change it up a little bit, and then what was the other step I was going to do? Oh, this photo here. When you edit section and you go to the background photo here, below that you can set this to It's not going to let me. Here under attachment, if you use fixed, you get this that fixed photo in the background. This is one of the neat effects. It'll only do it for desktop. It won't do it for mobile for you. But if you want to have the image fixed to give you that neat effect, then you select fixed under attachment. Likewise, you can do the same thing with this one by edit section and then go to style. Now under background, attachment, fixed, and you see you get the nice scrolling effect there. So I'll probably leave those like that. We have the history, stuff like that. We have a quote here. Here we have the event attractions. If you don't want any of these, you would just right click and delete it. I'm just going to leave these as is. If you need to make your own image, you're on your own for that. If you just don't want any images at all, like see how this is an image box, you can just delete the image and just call it what to wear, and then you won't have these themed images here. So it's up to you whether or not you want to just leave the icon box as is, or whether or not you actually want to insert the images in there. Okay, and are you attending? So here is the contact form that is inserted into the page, and this, when you click on it, you'll see that it's an actual shortcode for the Contact Form 7 plugin that we got. So we need to make sure that this is the right ID, because sometimes they don't match up. So what we're going to do to make sure that if someone goes to your site and fills out a contact, we want to make sure that you get that email. So let's go to Exit Dashboard, and then we'll go over here to Contact, and you'll see you have two options. When you click this one, Edit, you'll see this is the one that's currently in there. It has a text for a name, it has text for a phone number, text area for the message, and a send button. But this is the part that I don't like. You would have to fill these fields in yourself, and it can get a little confusing. And plus, I don't really think phone number is the best way to handle this form. So what I would do is I would go back to the contact forms, and I would click on this second one here with the, I don't know if your ID is the same as mine, but if you click the second one, Edit, you'll see this form has a place for name and an email and a subject and a message. And then when you click the Mail tab, you'll see this To field should have the email that you want to receive these emails from. So you put your email in there, and then this one's already filled out so that the person's name will appear in all of the other fields, and it will populate that for you. So we want to use this one here. So let's go back to the form, and we'll say contact form. See this short code here? This is what will communicate to Elementor to tell it to insert this form in here. So let's copy the entire thing, including the brackets. Go back to, well, you can just visit the site and then edit with Elementor. Go down to the bottom. Okay, so we click the widget, and instead of this one, you erase that, and then we paste. And now you have sort of an easier form that's already made for you. So I'll click Apply, Update, and instead of Are you attending, I think it would probably be better if I went with do you have any questions, and then you can fill in anything. Okay, so now we have the form placed within the and it's connected to the right shortcode because we verified that in the settings. And now we just have this sort of slideshow image gallery. So you'll see if you want to edit this, if you click a photo it opens up, but if you right click edit widget, you'll see you have the images here. You can add images, add all of your images that you want. Go back. You can change the columns, change the background color. So you know there's a lot of stuff you can do here. Where's the background? Here under advanced background. So if you want to do a color, just click the classic color and we'll do like a gray. Update. Okay. So that's the image gallery. Lightbox, you can choose yes. I think it's already set for a lightbox so that when you click it, it sort of highlights the dark background happens, and that's pretty much the page. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Oh, and one more thing, I just couldn't help but think of something that I might have left out. If you ever need to just look and see what your changes are going to look like, you can click this preview here, and that opens your page in another window without having the settings bar. So, I mean, yes, you can just collapse the settings, but it's sometimes good to reload the entire page by clicking this preview. And another thing, if you need more content but you don't have any ideas on how to lay it out, pay attention to this little tip because this helps to get new content into your page. So say you wanted a section right here where you wanted to talk about the hotel or whatever. You click new section, and then here's where you would click whether you want a 1, 2, 3 or whatever column if you're doing it manually, and then you could just select that and drag the widgets in there like an image or something like that. Instead, I'm going to do new section and I'm going to click this folder, and this is where all of the free templates are. And if you look at some of them that aren't pro, like this one here, you can click it and browse it, but I'm just going to insert the whole page. You insert the whole page into your page because there's a section in there that you really want to add to your site. So get rid of the tabs that you don't want, and then so here we have the one that I do want. So I'm going to keep this one, and I don't need this one, and I want this one too. So now I'm going to look at this color here, click this, style, here's the color, let's copy that. Now I'm going to click here, click style, primary color, paste it in. Okay. And obviously you can change the fonts and the colors. If you want to change this color to this color, you can do that. Change the photo, and then here's another section that you could do like some you could do some stock wedding photos, flowers or something like that. So you just click that little hat, paste that in there, and now you got, you know, another section where you could put in some flowers or some trees or some, and then if you don't want the sections, you just hit the X till you're back to where you want to be. So that's how you would add a few more sections to your site. And last but not least, don't forget to go to under construction here and turn this off. so that your site can be visited by others that don't have a login. So make sure you turn that red. And that's it. Thanks.